Your full name feels permanent. 1,000 years ago, it was not. In England around the year 1000, most people had no fixed, inherited surname. Other people could complete your identity with your father, job, home, or even a nickname you hated. So who were you when nobody nearby knew you? The answer usually began with a single personal name. You might be Alfred, Edward, Edith, or Edmund. There was no universal identity card linking one official spelling to your face, address, and date of birth. Yet this did not make everyday life a permanent identity crisis. Most of the people who mattered already knew you. Your world was built from overlapping circles: household, kin, neighbors, lord, church, and workplace. Inside a small settlement, one name could be enough. People recognized your face, your voice, your relatives, the land you worked, and the promises you had made. Identity lived partly in other people's memories. Your name was less like a private barcode and more like a shared reference held by the community. Even the personal name itself often carried family patterns. Many Old English names were assembled from reusable elements. Alfred combined words associated with elves and counsel, while Edward joined ideas of prosperity and guardianship. Families could repeat or recombine such elements across generations, creating names that sounded connected without using a hereditary surname. But historians warn that people did not necessarily hear every name as a literal poetic description. These elements could function mainly as familiar pieces of a naming tradition. The system became more flexible when one name was not enough. Another description could be added: whose child you were, where you came from, what work you performed, the office you held, or what people noticed about you. You could be identified as someone's son, the priest, the reeve who managed local duties, the smith, or the person from a particular estate. Historians call this extra description a byname, meaning an additional name used to distinguish one person from another. The crucial difference is that a byname was not automatically a permanent family surname. If you moved, changed work, inherited an office, or became known for something else, the useful description could change. Your child did not necessarily inherit it. One community might identify you through your father, while another remembered your birthplace. The name belonged as much to the situation as it did to you. This could become uncomfortable. A physical feature, habit, or reputation might turn into the label people used. You did not control a medieval community's vocabulary, and there was no simple profile page where you could correct it. A flattering description might preserve status. An unflattering one could follow you because it was useful, vivid, and easy to remember. In that sense, your neighbors helped construct the identity attached to your name. Writing added another layer. Most ordinary people did not regularly write their own names. Clerks recorded names in documents shaped by Latin, local speech, and their own spelling habits. The same spoken name could appear in different written forms. That variation was normal in a world without modern standardized spelling. A written form was not necessarily the one true version chosen by its bearer. Records also favored the people and property that institutions needed to track. Landholders, clergy, officials, witnesses, and those involved in disputes are more visible than many laborers, women, and children. That means surviving documents do not provide an equal portrait of everyone. They show how institutions identified people, not every private name used beside a hearth or between friends. After the Norman Conquest of 1066, naming in England changed significantly. Continental names such as William, Robert, and Richard spread, and additional names became increasingly important as the same personal names were shared by more people. Over generations, some bynames stabilized and became hereditary surnames. But the transition was slow, uneven, and different across regions and social groups. There was no single morning when England suddenly received last names. Modern naming gives you advantages that would have seemed strange in that earlier world. A stable legal name can connect your bank account, medical record, passport, education, and property across enormous institutions filled with strangers. It lets someone identify you without knowing your family or reputation. But it also turns identity into data. A misspelled record or mismatched document can make a system doubt you, even when everyone in the room knows exactly who you are. Around the year 1000, the opposite was often true. The document could be uncertain while the community was not. Your identity rested on relationships, memory, place, obligation, and recognition. That made it flexible and deeply social, but also dependent on what others said about you. You type your name into a box and prove you exist. 1,000 years ago, other people completed the name for you.